domestic air and domestic sea travel to and from Metro Manila shall be suspended beginning March 15, 2020.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of SupremeTV. This is a webinar brought to you by the Carpet Enhancement Team. So, as we all know, the cases of COVID-19 are steadily increasing, but while that is happening, so do the feelings of doubt and anxiety among workers, minimal contact with friends and family, stress from all the changes that they are going through due to our situation. There are a lot of factors that could affect employees' confidence. So, that's why, for our topic today, uh, today's topic will be how can you boost your employees' morale during these uncertain times? Our first speaker is an executive financial advisor and MDRT of AXA Philippines. Please welcome Ms. Karen Abenilla.
Thank you, Trish, and good evening, everyone. So I'm here to talk about fringe benefits. So fringe benefits are perks that employers give to their employees above and beyond any financial compensation. So it has been studied that employees weigh the job opportunities on the basis of the fringe benefit they will get with the job. And 30% of the compensation comprises of fringe benefit. It's also a great indicator of job satisfaction and employee retention program. So, what are the different fringe benefits companies can provide for their employees? So, let's tackle the most common. The first is life insurance benefit that will be given to the family of the employee. The second is the retirement plan beyond the mandated minimum retirement benefit by the government. The third is a health card or health insurance. You will hear coverage can be as low as 200,000 to even unlimited coverage for some key personnel of the company. For our workers, for example, we even give them flu shot every year. And the usual dental coverage that can sometimes be extended to family members as well. And then educational assistance to employees and dependents. You may hear about company-sponsored trainings abroad. My dad experienced this 3 times when he was sent to the US in the 1980s for trainings. Or scholarships na din naman extended to family members or dependents. Now we move on to other perks. Ito yung exciting. So housing. That usually happens when employees are asked to move to another location. So kunyari, taga Cebu ka and you are assigned to work in Manila, then you'll be given a provision for accommodation. Or taga Manila ka and you're sent abroad. Sometimes you start staying in hotels until a company-paid accommodation, a more permanent one, has been found. We also do this locally, especially for construction companies. We house our engineers and officers in a house or apartment for them while the rest of the manpower stays in the barracks. So, and then, this is the exciting one, I think, expense account. Kasi these are reimbursements employees can make for work-related purposes. Medyo may leeway dito, like representation allowance for client meetings, or utilities expense for, let's say, water, electricity, and even data allowance for their smartphone. cleaning and disinfection service if you want to avail of the services of Sure Solutions, or delivery expense from Agile Delivery Service. Pwede din. You can also avail of advertising materials from Chubby Cheeks, or even repairs that stern-built waterproofing specialists can do for your accommodation, and other maintenance or office supplies. The next is household personnel. It's not included in my slide, but I included this because I remember hearing a story about this, that certain employees not only provided personal driver but also personal assistants and housemaids. Masaya. So the next is personal use of a company owned vehicle. So employees can also be provided with a car that they do not only use for work but also for personal use. The company also pays for car batteries from Allspark, and even for Petron lubricants from Revoltron mo na yan, Revoltron distributors. And then the next on our list are expenses for foreign travel from maybe Unilink Travel and Tours, but for now, limited to essential travels like servicing. Yung importante lang talaga and something that you cannot do off-site. And then, there's also holiday and vacation expenses. Now, most of the time, this is monetized starting last year because of the travel restrictions. And then, companies also provide employee stock options. So ano ba tong employee stock options na to? These are when companies give their employees option to purchase a stock with a preferred rate. So you don't only work for the company, you become part of its growth. Some companies even give preferred rates. So kunyari sa affiliated companies or sister companies, pwede rin yon. So definitely, these benefits make the employee experience satisfactory and will thereby make them stay. It also motivates them to do better at work. It may even give them reason to help their company reach their goals. More importantly, especially during pandemic, it helps keep them well. So that's the end of fringe benefit. Up next is Gina Daval Santos, the Social Services and Marketing Director of the Premier Medical Center. Gina?
Thank you, Miss Karen. Good evening, everyone. Well, now I'm going to tackle the compensation, the importance of employee benefits. Here we identify examples of some mandated and optional benefits that may help you compete in today's competitive labor market. Number one is the hazard pay. The hazard pay means additional pay for performing hazardous or dangerous duty or work involving physical hardship. Number two, we have the night differential allowance, or in the Philippines, working in the night between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. comes with additional compensation and it's called the night shift differential. And it should be paid if not less than 10% of his regular wage. Example, the hourly rate is 57 pesos. You multiply it by 10% times 8 hours. So that's the night differential calculation. Next is the paid leave. What does it mean? This is any kind of time that is taken off with off work with pay. And one of the paid leaves we have here the maternal leave. This is the benefit in the Philippines was recently extended from 60 days up to 105 days through a new law we call the RA 11210, known as 105-day expanded maternity leave law. And there is an option to extend for an additional of 30 days without pay. This also grants extension of 15 days for solo mothers. and for other purposes. Next, we have the paternity leave. The paternity leave, this is under Republic Act 8187. Under the law, male employees in a private and government in the Philippines are entitled to 7 days of paternity leave with full pay, and they should receive their basic salary, allowances, and other monetary benefits for those days. And this is given for the first four deliveries of the legitimate spouse with whom he is cohabiting. Next is the solo parent leave. The solo parent leave, these are benefits given to employees left alone with the responsibility of parenthood. The benefits consist of 7 working days of leave credits with full pay. The employee is required to obtain a solo parental ID from the DSWD. This is also called the Republic Act 8972, or known as Solo Parents Welfare Act of 2000. Next, we have the calamity leave. All employees in public and private sectors directly affected by natural calamity with disaster shall be entitled to 5 days special emergency leave with pay. The benefits shall be available upon the declaration of a state of calamity by the President of the Philippines or by local sanggunian pursuant to Section 16 of RA number 10121. Next, we have the sick leave. The sick leave, employees who cannot report to work due to sickness or disability can apply for sick leave with supported medical certificate. Next, we have the food allowance. Based on the 537 Manila minimum wage, the meal allowance must not exceed 25% of the basic minimum wage. Meal allowance is non-taxable only for overtime or graveyard shift. Another is the loyalty token. Employees are recognized for their loyal and dedicated service to the company for every 5 years of continuous service by way of gift check or token, plus the plaque of appreciation during the service award ceremony. And next, we have the burial benefit. The burial benefit is given to the spouse or to the children if the spouse is already deceased. Survivors' monthly pension or cash benefits to primary beneficiaries, which we or the legal spouse and minor children up to 5. If there are no spouse or and children, death benefits are given to secondary beneficiaries, and the amount is 20,000 pesos. Another one is the performance bonus. The performance bonus is given for the performance above expectations. Employees are not automatically entitled to it. Performance bonuses may be given to an entire team or department. Example, specific sales figures, or if the actions of that group were deemed to have been exceptional. So with this, I hope I have enlightened you regarding compensation package. Our next speaker is a product development officer of Unilink Travel and Tours, no other than Miss Tricia Makadangtang.
Thank you, Miss Gina, for that. So I'll be talking about engaging activities that will keep you connected with your staff during the pandemic. So number one, effective communication, very important, right? So communication is critical now more than ever, and without providing the right information, workers can become overwhelmed. It would be great if you can educate your staff with as many resources about COVID-19 as possible so they can keep up to date with relevant knowledge. This is to make sure that they can protect themselves and understand the relevant legislations. A way to keep in contact with your staff is through virtual meetings. So there are a lot of apps out there that you can use to meet with your staff. Popular choices like Zoom and Google Classroom. It is important that you communicate frequently and share honest updates with your workforce. Consider hosting a weekly or monthly virtual meeting where you discuss your plans as the crisis evolves. So employees can use this as an opportunity to ask questions and gain clarity about their work situation. Now listen and understand the concern of your staff. Hearing your employees' concerns can help improve clarity as well as maintain focus to concentrate and complete their tasks. People's imagination can often run wild. The gossip and rumors might create unwarranted concerns with no truth behind it. This could be a cause of distraction for a number of staff members. Listening and addressing your staff concerns during COVID-19 pandemic shows your employees that you care about their health as well as their safety. Also, make sure to check, right? Like, do they have the right equipment needed to work from home? Stable enough internet connection? Do they have enough health amenities to keep them safe during the pandemic? Make them feel that they are not alone, on this crisis. And of course, be transparent with them. Keeping employees in the dark will only create more worry and concern, which is something that we don't want to happen. So being transparent is a great way to remove any false rumors and gossip that is circulating during these times of uncertainty. Next, okay, virtual team building. Right? Due to the pandemic, all company get-togethers have been heavily discouraged. While before, we were literally a hop, skip, and step away from our coworkers, now we seldom see them face to face. This gives us fewer opportunities to socialize and can lead to feelings of isolation and disconnection from our colleagues. So it may even lead to team conflict and reduced productivity. So that's why a great activity to do is virtual team building. While we may not be able to get together in groups, like actual face to face, there are still some great ways you can promote team building by doing it all online. This is a fun, interactive way to allow workers to have a break from all the worries and is vital for everyone's emotional well being. You might consider organizing a trivia party twice a month, like once a week. Bahala kayo. You can use cool apps like House Party, Kahoot, Quizwits. There's a lot of platforms that you can use online. You can even do an online karaoke or show and tell, okay, to make things more interesting, 'di ba? Sa mga empleyado natin na very talented. Okay, you can choose something unique every month. Just make sure to do something that can keep you connected even in isolation. And lastly, webinars and trainings. I would say that this is actually a great time to have your staff attend trainings and webinars. There are a lot of free webinars that you can see online, and it's free, diba? You can suggest self-development webinars, something that could help them in terms of personal growth. Mental health talks, very relevant, very important, especially right now when we're all also isolated. Financial literacy, very critical topic because it equips us with the knowledge and skills we need to manage money effectively. There are also a lot of wellness and fitness webinars so that they could keep healthy. So that's just to name a few, but really there are a lot of free webinars that you can suggest to them. And of course, in terms of training, I think this is also the time for them to brush up on their skills, whether that's through sales or if you're selling a specific product, right? It's made even more convenient doing it virtually as opposed to face to face. Okay, so ayun, that's it for my end. Now, our last speaker is the CEO and Chief Photographer of Chubby Cheeks Photography and Makeup Studio. Please welcome Mr. Chris Ryan Zara.
Thank you so much for that, Trisha. So what I'll be discussing today is about care packages. Now, what is a care package or gift box? It is actually a compilation of several different items that employers find to be helpful for service members. Care packages usually consist of food, beverages, comfort and hygiene products, and other forms of entertainment. These are gifts of treats to relatives or friends, especially items not readily available to them. Now, here are some samples. So we have vaccine package. Now, this may be composed of flu vaccine, pneumonia vaccine, and now, if available, COVID vaccine. Next one is Sunshine Committee. Now, these are the individuals or a group that provides birthday cakes or gives out birthday cakes, flowers, greeting cards, and mass cards. Next is protection package. All right. Face mask, such as dual mask, face shields, alcohol or sanitizers, and sometimes gloves. Next is food packs. This may consist of noodles, canned goods, fruit baskets, milk, fruit juices, granola bars, biscuits, and uncooked rice. Now, for computer accessories, you may actually do or you may actually give out phone chargers, power banks, spare batteries, or you may actually inquire from AMT if you need the computer accessories and peripherals. Next is employee care package. These are self-help books, DIY books, writing materials, those kinds of things. Next is stress relievers. Now, these are stress balls, fidget spinners, essential oils from Joy in a Bottle, handheld massager, water bottles, chewing gums, and coffee shop gift cards for the coffee addicts. Now, if I may add, it's not on my presentation, but you may also give out these packages to your sick employees. You may send them pillows, blankets, gourmet soup, tea, cheese and crackers, fruits and nuts, balloons, get well soon cards, aromatherapy candles, adult coloring books, incense, meditation books, and or music CDs and others. Meron pa bang CDs ngayon? But yeah, malay natin, right? Or MP3s, yan. Or playlist, even playlist on your own Spotify accounts. Now, due to travel limitations, you may send these packages through your local couriers, such as Grab, Lalamove, and or Agent Deliveries. Now, these are just suggestions that you may give to your employees to make sure that their morale are still up there despite these very challenging times. As we all know, our employees are the life of our companies, and it is a part of the major success of our business. So it is very much important to take good care of them while considering a partial amount from our company's success money. So that's it. So that's the end of our presentation. Let me call back my colleagues, Miss Karen, Miss Gina, and Miss Trisha. We shall entertain questions should you have any. The questions ba dyan? Anything that is not clear about fringe benefits, right? And all other things that we have discussed. Comment section.
I think Trish is trying to look for it in the comment section. Huh?
Okay, okay.
Okay. Ayun. So if we don't have any questions, ayun, there's a question from Leslie. If Leslie Jean Pascual Zara. Ayun. If a company is also at a point of struggle, would verbal motivation suffice?
Who would like to
Uh,
answer first?
I guess as much as is it important to call your employee and talk to them about whatever they're struggling at the moment. It would also help to send them a care package like what Chris has mentioned earlier. I think iba rin yun eh. You just, diba, when someone is sick in the hospital, you send them a bear and a bouquet of flowers. It really lifts their spirits. So I think that will also help.
Yeah, I agree. Like for example, syempre pag sick kayo, right? Try to put in the shoes of others. For example, if you're sick and syempre sobrang down ka when you're sick, right? So iba yung feeling if you actually somewhat receive like say like medicines or vitamins or balloons or even just a get well soon card. Iba yung dating. Like it would um tataas yung moral nila and mas I believe that mas gagaling sila na mabilis. So yes.
Yeah.
Next question.
Ayun.
Yeah.
From Rusty, how often do you need to give these benefits? So I'm assuming Miss Gina.
How often do you need to give these benefits? Well, for me, it's the discretion of the company, 'di ba? It depends on the benefits what to give to the employees. You have to be specific kung anong benefits is to be given to the employee.
Yeah, and maybe to add to that, when it comes naman to fringe benefit, it's a package when the employee signs up the contract, then that's something that will be available to them already if it's part of the company's program.
Ayan, for the care package naman, as needed, of course. You wouldn't send out a get well soon package if that person is not sick, diba? So basically, you just
Correct.
right, unless you
True.
wish them to be sick. But yeah, no, that's not good. That's not good. It's not gonna heighten their morale. But yeah, yun lang as needed. So yeah, that's my answer for that. How about you, Trish?
Well, I mean, I agree with you guys. It really does depend on the company kasi syempre, it's all different, di ba? We're all from different
Yeah.
industries, all different companies, iba-iba din yung ano natin, rules, regulations, so depends. Ayan. We have another question from Leslie. Aside from the pandemic, what are the scenarios that would make you decide to give those benefits to your employees?
Yun, well, for the care packages, pandemic or not, okay, it is best to give them those care packages when needed. It is actually it would help make them feel that they're not alone, that you care for them. That's why it's actually called care package. That you wish them to be better soon, so that you'll see them sooner in the office, diba? Then also say namatayan sila. So it would help them feel na okay, nakikiramay kayo. So yes. There you go.
Maybe to add to that also, another scenario would be when you want to have an edge over your other if on the point of view of a business owner, if you want to gain an edge from other competitors, kunyari you want to get the best photographers, so you give them a better package than what your competitors are giving, and that way they will choose to work with your company. Okay.
There you go. Any more questions?
Ayun, going once, going twice.
Oh, oh, there you go. You have a question from Attorney Nino.
Pahabol.
What should
Attorney Nino.
benefit
So
be given by the companies?
what benefit should be given ayun, by the companies to those employees for experiencing the effects of pandemic on their mental health?
Wonderful.
Um, like for as far as the care packages goes, you can actually give out um like self motivational books, those things. Kasi as we all know, sobrang baba ng moral ng mga tao during the pandemic kasi they're not earning money, they're not they can't go out, they can't they can't um go out on the trip to refresh themselves and all that. So you can actually give out self motivation books, DIY books to keep them busy and productive, like baking, cooking books, those kind of things. Those little things would actually help them really.
Yeah.
Yeah, suggesting webinars would also be great, a great help for them. Diba? There are a lot of mental wellness webinars that you can see out there. You can ask them to follow key figures like Mel Robbins, diba? Basta ano, mga feel-good na webinars.
Sa amin, no, sa Premier, uh, we give special risk allowance to those with the medical staffs and all the nurses, especially in the COVID area, and additional meal allowance also. We gave them the free meals for nurses, for all nurses. Yun.
Okay, just to add, then we can also provide maybe therapy for that employee.
Yeah.
So yeah, para direkta yung atake do sa mental health nila. So yeah.
Yes.
Any more questions for Trisha? Hindi, joke lang. Any more questions?
Ayun. Ulit ba? Going once, going twice.
Meron talaga.
Ayun
Alright.
talaga. Is risk allowance only applicable during the lockdown or the entire pandemic period?
Is risk allowance only applicable during lockdown or the entire pandemic period? Like in our case, we gave it for free kahit na I mean
Pre-pandemic.
oh during pandemic time. So yun.
I think there's also a risk allowance for those who are um, working in a hazardous environment. Or, diba, Chris, I remember you discussed with me risk allowance for those who work at night also.
Yes,
So
yun
it
yung
does,
differential, yes.
yeah. So I think it's a benefit that can be given beyond pandemic.
And we have another question from Alvin Santa Ana. If work from home employees got infected by COVID, do the company need to shoulder the hospitalization?
I think I can answer that. If the employee has an HMO that's been provided by their company, then it should cover for COVID-19 hospitalization. Oh, we have another question from attorney.
Do you think the employees should understand or forgive their employers if some companies cannot give employees financial assistance or additional benefits, especially those who had or have COVID?
So I think the employers would they need to talk to their employee and explain the financial situation of the company, because just to be clear about it, that the company is looking after the welfare of their employees, but they cannot give what they don't have. So as long as there's proper communication, um, I think employees will understand. Just needs to be explained properly.
And do you guys have anything to add?
Baka may love questions na susunod. Tapos na yung Valentine's. Joke lang. Okay.
Okay, ayun, do we have any more questions? No more? Baka mamaya pag magsabi na naman ako eh. Going once, going twice. Okay, wala na. Okay, thank you so much everyone. That's it for our webinar today. We hope that you have learned a lot. If you would like to get to know and meet more of these wonderful business owners, we invite you to like our Facebook page and our YouTube channel so that you can be updated on how to get to meet wonderful business owners every week right here at Supreme. Catch us again next week, same time on Supreme TV.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys. Good
Thank
night,
you.
everyone.
Good night.